Excuse me, my beeper just went off. Hey, 1992 called. It wants its America's team tag back. Ah, yes, the legendary 1990s Dallas Cowboys, Super Bowls, Hall of Famers, America's team, blah, blah, blah. Cowboys fans talk about that decade like your uncle talks about his high school touchdown. It was 30 years ago, and nobody else cares, Steve. They've been riding that 90s hype train so long it's out of gas, stuck on the tracks, and Jerry Jones is trying to push it himself, wearing a fur coat and sipping a martini. And if you listen closely, you can still hear Troy Aikman's head hitting the turf in Super Bowl 27. Netflix is dropping a big documentary about them, and I'm here to ruin your nostalgia. Let's go. Hey, wait, where's my Netflix to dumb sound? Reason number one, the 1990s Dallas Cowboys are overrated. The Cowboys didn't build that dynasty. The Minnesota Vikings gifted it to them. The Herschel Walker trade gave Dallas enough draft picks to build a Pro Bowl team and have leftovers for the practice squad. The Vikings traded away enough picks for Herschel Walker to basically become Santa Claus for Dallas. And this was before salary caps made it hard to hoard talent. Back then, you could just collect stars like Trump collects tariffs. Reason number two why the 1990s Cowpokes are overrated. Emmitt Smith ran behind the Great Wall of Dallas. Those guys opened holes so big, Emmitt just had to remember which one was the size of Interstate 35. The Barry versus Emmitt debate, please. Barry Sanders was dodging defenders in his own backfield while Emmitt was dodging fans asking for autographs mid-run. They could have put a grocery cart back there and it still would have picked up 6 yards a carry. Heck, even the Cowboys mascot, Rowdy, could have hit 1,500 yards behind that line. Reason number three that Dem Boys were overrated in the 1990s. People talk about Troy Aikman like he was Joe Montana with a better tan. Reality check. Aikman threw 20 touchdowns once. Half the playbook was give it to Emmitt. The other half was throw short to Irvin and pray. If Aikman's stat lines happened today, fantasy owners would file lawsuits. And if you drafted him in the 90s, congratulations. You were the proud owner of the NFL's most expensive game manager. Reason number four that Dallas was overrated. The AFC was basically a charity case in the 90s. The Bills went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost all of them. Yeah, the Cowboys won 3 Super Bowls, but who did they beat to get there? The Bills. Every time. That's like bragging you're undefeated in rock, paper, scissors because your opponent only ever plays paper. The NFC Championship was the real Super Bowl. After that, it was just another AFC rollover. Dallas wasn't slaying dragon. They were beating teams running hurry-up offenses like the Bills and Oilers, which basically meant let's lose faster. And the AFC's defensive game plan, pray for a power outage. Finally, reason number five that yesterday's America's team was overrated, performing enhancing parties. Michael Irvin's house made MTV Spring Break look like a church picnic. Some teams were using steroids. The Cowboys were using champagne, supermodels, and mystery powders that made them think they were invincible. Forget game film. Their real prep was deciding which nightclub to win it that week. AI ran the numbers. 8 hours of sleep adds 2% to your health, but staying up till 3 a.m. yelling, whoa, adds 500% to your social calendar. And so here we are, decades later, the Dallas Cowboys, once kings of the 90s, now the Netflix of football, great at producing drama, terrible at delivering what anyone actually subscribed for. Their legends are household names, but their playoff highlights have to be streamed on VHS because there hasn't been a new season in 30 years. Jimmy Johnson, he's still sharper than Jerry's suits, and the last guy who knew how to turn Dallas into champions. Meanwhile, Jerry Jones might have sold his soul in the 90s, and judging by the last 3 decades of heartbreak, the devil clearly gave him a no-refund deal. And what happens after you're a Cowboy? Half the roster ends up in a TV studio trying to explain why this was supposed to be our year. The other half ends up on reality shows that even Netflix rejects for being too tragic. At this point, the Cowboys are like that friend who peaked in high school, and we all nod politely while they tell us the old stories, but deep down we know the glory days are gone, the trophies are dusty, and the only thing still undefeated in Dallas is the curse. Good night, everybody, and remember, if you see Jerry Jones at midnight whispering into a mirror, don't interrupt him. That's the annual renewal of the deal. Guau sans mai nai die, Guau sans mai nai die, Guau sans. You know, we tried to involve DeepSeek in this project, but it ran 1,000 simulations and crowned Barcelona as Super Bowl champs.